questions towards the end of Ms. Preeti's speech. Meanwhile, the students who are attending this particular webinar, you'll be receiving a feedback form, all the 3,000 participating students of the session. So with this, I will move on to Ms. Preeti. Ms. Preeti, may I request you to enable your video and audio, please?
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mr. Kumar, for such an enlightening session, and to all the speakers. Good evening to everyone. It's already 3:33 p.m., so I'm considering it's an early evening. And today, yes, we are going to talk about employability, and I'm here to give you some magical beans today, so that those secret beans can be utilized for the best possible manner, and you are able to encash on it. I would like to thank ICT Academy for organizing this webinar on a very auspicious day. Today is a double celebration day. First, we all are celebrating Buddha Purnima, so happy Buddha Purnima to everyone. And today is 159th birthday of Rabindranath Tagore. So I think creativity today is at is gaining momentum. And I would be sharing a presentation whereby, as I said earlier, you will be getting some secret beans. What I need right now from all the participants is, please carry a paper, pen and your mobile phones, because you would be requiring it so that you are able to make the most out of this presentation. And hopefully, and I'm glad that each one of you is going to take away something from this presentation today. This presentation is all to do with how to be employable. So the first question, as a person or as a user, you need to answer at any given point of time. I am guessing that most of you are engineering students, and I just happened to view the chat of students and people who are registered for this event. What it takes to be an entrepreneur. So I would be talking about little bit on the entrepreneurship part also. So the first thing is, you need to identify your own purpose. And once you identify your purpose, you will understand what are your positives, work on your positives. And once the purpose is identified, you will be able to encash on that aspect. As I said before starting this presentation, today I'm going to give you 8 secret magical beans. Employability skills for the future. So what is future first of all? Future is what we create today. Whatever intent which we are putting up, even people who are registering for this event, the intent was to learn something out of it. So if the intent is right and you start working on, and then you actually encash on a lot of aspects. So what's in store for us? Your own belief system, how you are understanding the content right now in terms of in the current era also, what is happening right now. And I echo with the previous speakers also, where they talked about data is everything. You might be hearing about Industry 4.0. So Industry 4.0 is all to do with how each node is connected in a medium, which is called as an online medium. So in the online media, wherever there's network, how that network can become your net worth. So network and net worth are going to go hand in hand. And that's how you believe and you build your own belief system to encash on the magical beans, which I'm going to share with you. What are we going to do and what will be the outcome of this workshop? This is a very small workshop which you can do after this presentation also, because these magical beans will stay with you. So how to deploy those magical beans to understand your own USP. USP stands for your own selling proposition, how you encash on the homework you have done in the time where you are looking to enter the market as a professional. Very important point is invest in yourself. Start asking this question to yourself, what are you investing in yourself? Because once you know your investment, you can understand and you can actually calculate the ROI, that is the return on investment. Say for example, after this presentation, you go on Udemy, you pick up a course of your choice. It can be anything. See, to develop anything, you have to be in the creative vortex. Once your mind is in the creative vortex, you can create that reality, and that reality is going to be your future. So from today, invest in yourself. What is the secret being one? So let's talk about this being. So the first secret being is identify your USP. So USP as identify your USP. So USP, as already talked about, is your unique selling proposition. What are you good at? Maybe you are good at writing. Maybe you are good in coding. Maybe you are good in understanding something. Whatever your USP is, start polishing that USP. So, what can you predict the future? See, the future, as already the best of the companies, or I would say the sharks, have already stated that in the coming years, most of the workforce is going to work from a location which is remote to the main location. So, you have to understand that each one of you is going to be a free bird at the same point of time. You have to work in partnerships with your employer and employee. So the relationship between the employer and employee is all about partnerships. What kind of partnerships you want to build, and that's what your future is all about. So how to build those partnerships? You have to identify your set and your subset of ideas to create that reality. An idea can change your life. This is a very famous tagline. So these taglines itself illustrates the fact that a powerful idea which is at the ideation stage. Idea, the I also stands for ideation stage. So at ideation stage, what you want to do, you have to write it down. Maybe you are good in big data. Maybe when I say good in big data means, are you good in analysis of big data? Are you good in coding a program which is able to fortify the data matrix of big data? Are you good in machine learning? Are you good in artificial intelligence, blockchain, augmented reality, virtual reality? Whether you want to work in the healthcare sector, whether you want to work in the fintech sector, the question you have to answer today. Irrespective of your domain, whether you are a chemical engineer, whether you are a mechanical engineer, whether you are from biotech, biostatistic, and whatnot subjects which you would see nowadays. The future is what you are good at. Once you identify those USPs and you identify those sets and subsets of ideas, you would be in a better position to even think of being an entrepreneur. Because entrepreneur takes a little more courage than working in partnerships of where the partnership is all about employer and employee. So I'll just talk more about this partnership when it is said, or when you can take a hypothetical situation where one person is an employer and the other person is an employee. Who are they serving? So once you go to the restaurant, the server comes to you and he takes your order. So once he takes your order, what happens? He serves you. So here your customers would be your bank. Now, how you serve your customers is going to encash in terms of monetary value in near future or in the present day scenario too. Today is 159th birthday of Rabindranath Tagore, and Rabindranath Tagore was a polymath. And as we all know, he has been one of the greatest creator of so many things. And this is something he said and which actually reflected, and I thought it's a good time to go back and talk about this mirror of mind. So I'll just go through this. Most people believe the mind to be a mirror, more or less accurately reflecting the world outside them. It means what we see from our visual eyes is what is the impression which we frame in our minds. However, not realizing on the contrary that the mind itself is the principal element of creation. This is a very profound thought, and that's the reason I underlined it. Mind itself is the principal creation of element of creation. If you're working in a chemistry lab, there are so many elements. When you mix the elements in the right ratio, you get results. It's that simple. So the first thing and the foremost thing, as talked in one of the magical beans, is identify your USP. What are you good at? Are you good at drawing? Are you good at communicating? Are you good at, you have to be good at something. Many people, or I would say the student community, they say we are not good at anything. However, they forget that they have to identify the creative zone of their mind whereby they can create the reality. Because to learn and to be successful, how you measure success is what you create in your mind, you manifest it, and that becomes your reality once you put all the elements which are given to you at any given point of time to make use of it and create that magical potion. Secret being two, emulate your creativity. As Mr. Kumar also suggested in his presentation, that it's not only how good you are at your skill set. When you start working, you have to be in the zone of creating a environment, and that environment has to be a good cordial environment, because if you're good to yourself, you would be good to the people who are around you, which is very very important. People don't realize this fact many a times. Most of the companies, and especially if you go through the news right now, multiple startups in different states, they are facing some kind of jitter because of the expectations from the venture capitalists. All of us have to be in that zone of calming ourselves down, being creative, and create a holistic view of working, so that each one of us is able to thrive, and we would be able to thrive in the best possible manner is through good partnerships. So that's what emulate your creativity is all about. You can create, you can recreate whatever you are learning on a daily basis. And I'm going to provide you some tools for emulation in the right format. Ask yourself. So today, as I said, is a full moon and it's Buddha Purnima. Having said that, can you identify this picture of Lord Buddha? And if you can identify this picture, please write in the chat box. Probably we can have a little further discussion on this, because Buddha himself has preached so much, and even Incredible India is using this picture of Buddha. And so I thought I'll procure this picture. I was fortunate enough to visit this place, and it's a very profound place. And when you see Buddha, the first question comes to your mind, or if you read any of the normal or the normal preachings of Buddha, or I would say the best preachings of Buddha, is ask yourself. The first and the foremost thing is ask yourself. Ask yourself, what do you want to do with this beautiful, precious life? Life is a precious gift. It's a commodity. Money is not a commodity. Money can be earned, money will go, money will come. What is important right now is, in the current situation also, if you see the global impact and why we have to stay back in our homes, is to preserve life first, preserve ourselves and life of others also. So ask yourself, what's your purpose? And let me tell you, once you start asking this question to yourself, one day your inner consciousness will give you that answer. And that's what spirituality is all about, or that's what physiology is all about. And if you understand big data, about big data, you will appreciate the fact the root of everything is physiology. So start asking this question, and one day you will get that answer. Or you can just ask this question right now, and just you can write in your copy, and you can just refer back before you sleep every day. You will get your answer. So yes, asking is the first thing. Then what are you seeking? So everything boils down to ask and seek right answers, or I would say the answer which is able to satisfy your mind that yes, I have been answered in the way I wanted to be answered, or I would rather say in the way the mind perceives the answer. So I'll give you a very simple example here. We all understand probability. So the chances of anything happening at any given point is 50-50. So if everything is 50-50, so the chances of getting an answer is also 50-50, or the right answer. You would get an answer. But now the next question is whether that answer is the right answer or you are seeking something else. So you ask the next question. And that's what interview round is all about. So once you prepare yourself for the future in the present, you are ready to be a professional. Then the second thing is, now comes to the core principles. Every one of us has some kind of vision and a mission in terms of what we want to do in life. Now, before you enter into any field whatsoever, you should identify a cause. Now, what is this cause all about? The cause is all about the law of cause and effect. Now, next question is, what is this law of cause and effect? Law of cause and effect is simply asking and seeking those answers, and since you asked for it, you get it many a times. I think each one of us has gone through this phase at some time or the other. So once you identify the cause for which you want to work, say for example, or I would say, let me take my example here. I work in big data, blockchain, innovation, branding. So these are the elements with which I work on a daily basis. Now, that's the element right now. Now the thing is, in this current situation, what is the cause I can serve? Is the question I ask myself. How can you be of service to your customer in the current situation? If you're able to answer this question, you will know what kind of resources or elements you should work with or you should learn, so that you're able to find your right answers and live a purposeful life. And that's what Buddha also preached. Doubt everything, find your own light. There is light everywhere. The only thing is, you have to doubt it. Why it is happening. The question why becomes very important. And many a times I believe why is more important than what. Secret being 3. Wow. Money, money, money. Mahalakshmi. In India, Goddess Mahalakshmi is celebrated. She is offered a lot of prayers. And power, the goddess of knowledge, Saraswati. So, Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, and Mahalakshmi, the goddess of. However, what I wanted to touch base here is the power to learn and earn. So, if you see, I have highlighted the word learn, and if you just take out the L from that, that's a prefix, you see earn. So, the being or the secret being is to learn, and once you learn and you put it into practice, you start earning. So this is my quote: live a journey of infinite miles which neither has a beginning nor an end, in terms of equating the same with living wishful life. I think as kids or as human beings, we always wish to have something or the other. However, it's our choice. Many a times what happens is, I think when you give your 12th exams, you plan to enter college, you have so much to choose from, whether to go for, if it's an engineering college, what kind of course you want to take. I saw in the chat somebody said he took electronic engineering, however, he was interested in something else. However, still, Because of parental pressure, it was electronics engineering. Now the question is, in whatever choices you have made, that is done and dusted. Now, how you can encash on it, how that power can help you to learn the right notes. And once you start understanding this concept in the true sense, you'd be in a position to earn. The best thing right now is what I can foresee in the years to come when you talk about work from home culture. One thing would be for sure, you are going to spend a lot of time online. And I echo with the thought process with previous speakers, both have emphasized on the point is keeping a good health is very important, because you should be in that zone of happiness to work for long hours before a device, or I would say maybe, today we call this as laptop, maybe something else is coming into reality near future. Augmented reality and virtual reality would be seeing a new face altogether. So we have our choices, and the right choices which we think is going to decide our path to awesomeness. You should know the outcome also. Many a times, I remember, and this is what I tell my younger version when I was in college. If I just knew what I wanted, the outcome, maybe my life today would have been different. However, as I said, Lord Buddha said, doubt everything, find your own light. Echoing that thought process, the day you realize it, just start working on it. You should know the outcome. So I will talk about the fact how to know the outcome also. However, if you know the outcome, then you know this is happening. And then you are just, uh, playing with the elements which are given to you. And when your work is your passion, you live a very purposeful life and you serve a society at large. So it's like the energy is balanced. So it's 50-50 both sides.